For the first time ever, the G20 Leaders Summit will be held in South America this year. Buenos Aires will host the meeting that brings together leaders representing 2/3 of the world's population and 85% of the world's GDP. The G20 was formed in 1999 and took on a major role in the financial crisis of 2008. 10 years on, growing protectionism and trade tensions dominate the global economic debate. Tensions we've seen play out in meetings leading up to the summit, set to convene at the end of November. The host country's chief delegate, Pedro Villagra Delgado, told CGTN that Argentina's role and challenge is to build consensus on key issues.
In the finance minister meeting in March, there was considerable tension. So how difficult is finding these consensus proving to be?
It is very difficult, but precisely the example that you give is the one that gives me hope, because in the finance ministers and central bankers in March and more recently in July, there were the tensions there, but they managed in both cases to achieve a result in a declaration by consensus. That precisely is the one that makes me optimistic. The finance track has worked very well, and even within those tensions that you refer, which are true, they have managed to come to consensus. And in very important things, in things that relate to infrastructure, for instance, in things related to taxation, in things that relate to the control of international illicit traffic of money, and also the way that the financial system has to be monitored. So that's, it's not going that bad at all.
Villagra Delgado says Argentina has continued the G20's agenda from previous years, but it's emphasising its own priorities. Argentina has laid out 3 central issues to debate: the future of work, infrastructure for development and food security.
We are bringing to the G20 vision from the South, a vision from a developing country, because that's what we are, and of course that it's clearly informed in the priorities that we have set. We have very much the question of development, the question of people-centered thing, because it is the thing that are of more direct interest, if you like, to the real people, particularly in developing countries where the needs, as you mentioned before, are crucial and very physical in a way. It's not just theoretical needs, and they need to have concrete things to actually survive sometimes.
The hope for the Leaders Summit, says Villagra Delgado, is that it will produce a focused communique showing meaningful agreement with true worldwide impact.
My wish would be that in the final communique in the leaders meeting in Argentina, there will be again a consensus that leaders will have the commitment to work together for the best of all of us, the joint system. Every country has different objectives and different interests. That's perfectly understood. But things that we have to try to make those compatible with a general growth of the GDP, the global GDP, and a very good distribution everywhere.
The summit later this year will bring together the leaders of the world's strongest economies. The challenge will be finding common ground amongst them. Joel Richards, CGTN, Buenos Aires.